Gagasi FM. Good morning, welcome to it. This is Elevate every single Monday right here on Gagasi FM. Now, big days, we're talking to people who are in the entertainment space, abantu who found themselves there. So I'm talking to Senamile Mkhwanazi. She's better known as Usena from Idols SA19, the last season Yama Idols. So she grew up in the Nogoma or Lundi, or rather she ended up in Mlazi after being as well Kwamapumulo. So she's a KZN girl. Born and bred la KwaZulu-Natal. If you've ever thought that your dreams into ongayibeka eceleni, if now you have a circular job, suyasebenza, imali siyangena, but there's that one itch you want to scratch. So Usena was that one person. And she was like, no, I want to do this. I want to do this. And today we're delving into that story with her. Sena, someone, welcome to Gagasi FM.
Thank you so much for having me. Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm very good, man. I'm so, you know what it is in. Tell us about yourself. You grew up in all these areas, Nongoma, Ulundi, Mapumulo, and ended up in Mlazi. Tell us about your upbringing, your life story, just in a bit.
Oh wow, where do I even start? But let's start in the beginning, because I think when my mom had me, it was a thing of like, she's still youngish and she's still trying to, not young, but she was still trying to find her feet, like being stable as umzali so that she can better take care of me. And I found myself in Nongoma with her sister, and then from Nongoma moved to Ulundi, which was her parents, my grandparents, and then Gamapumulo, which was where she had started to find her feet in her career, and then to Umlaz, where we basically are as Umdeni.
So, usukhulile manje, you are up. Sumdala, and you are working. You are working as a logistician. So you are working as a logistician in the city of Durban. Everything is thriving. But there's this one thing, or you kumbula at the back of your mind. Guys, you're joining my idols. In fact, and how did you even find out that you can sing?
God, I didn't think there was like one particular person, Nobeti, go for idols. But I've always found myself being surrounded by umculo most of my life. From eskoleni, you'll find me in the school choir. Esontweni, you'll find me there. Shadowing, I'm there. I'm there. Any other event, I'm there. And someone to help me, maybe accompany. Sometimes it was a cappella, but I've always been surrounded by umculo, and I've always loved umculo. And I knew for a fact that whether ngiyawuthatha ngobeke eceleni for some time or I just go with it, I know it's always going to be a part of me. So it just so happened that he isn't like COVID happened, and then now you have to rethink maybe other plans that you might have had for impilo yako. So now it's like, okay, fine, love music, but I know for a fact it's not something that's just going to happen overnight. So meaning, what else do you have on your hand? So I do have my degree in supply chain, so let's find a job. Struggle on its own in a corner, because I had been looking for msebenzi prior with COVID, and it took some time. I think after 3 years or something, after graduating, and then I was like, well, God answered mostly. That's what I can say. I feel like that's what I can say, because where I'm working now, they do not advertise in Sebenzi. So it was just a matter of me being like, I'm tired of sitting at home. So Palayonking company, their address and what, and we are sending CVs. But advertise it, do they have a post or not? We are sending CVs. And where I'm working currently, it was literally number 2 on my list. And that's how I found the job. There were 3 people leaving. And I literally had to choose, okay, which department do you want to go to? 30 minutes after the interview, they were like, listen, we would like for you to start on Monday. Can you start on Monday?
I mean, look at God, man. Come on. For 3 years, you can't find a job. You now move yourself into a point of action, saying, Yazuktin, I can't wait for anything to happen. I am making things happen for myself. You literally, in the space of 30 minutes, unemployed, and now having to choose.
Exactly.
ukuthi ufuna umsebenzi.
Exactly. And one of the most amazing things for me is in Zega was I remember calling my mom and I was like, I'm about to go in, so I'll just give you a call when I'm done. And she sent me a message on some like, I know you're just showing face, Lapo. They're gonna take you. She literally said this, and then 30 minutes after, I'm done with the interview, I'm already on my way home. And then I get a call. So I haven't listened to my mom's message because I was still busy. And then the minute I figure ekhaya, I parked, so once my mom had sent me a message. So I haven't listened, it was a voice note, I remember very well. She was like, exactly what I'm telling you now. Like, you're just showing face, that's your job. She literally said that. And it made me cry even more, because now I was driving and I'm crying. Ooh, I got a job.
Talk about when the time is right. The Bible says, I, the Lord, will do it, and I'll make it happen. You don't have to sweat, you don't have to struggle, but I will make it happen.
And another amazing thing was when I got that job, so I got the job, I had an interview on a Thursday.
Yeah.
And I was starting on a Monday. That same week, I had started another job, like in Klanga, a night shift. I was teaching English online, funny enough. I was teaching English online. And go 24 hours, basically, to give you like a rounded off, samari, basically. Go 24 hours, I was working 23 hours. I was just sleeping for 3. For now, I wouldn't say sleeping because I still have to eat, travel, and do whatever else in between.
You were going home to bath and change, basically.
Yeah, that's how I ended up moving out of Ikaya because we am from the central places in Sebenza corner. It will take a lot of time. So that's how I ended up having to find Indawo that's going to be more central for me to actually be able to be more mobile. So yeah, interesting.
So now you're Sebenza and you have this job, but there's this thing and this voice and this passion of singing. You decide to go to Idols. Tell us about that decision and that journey.
Idols, I feel like I'd be lying if I said it was something that was completely put off the books. I knew for a fact that at some point I will have to do something about the gift that I do have. And it's just so was announced to go to this was the finalist season, and you know, there will never be Idols. So I was like,
this is my shot.
Yeah, and also gave me age where I'm like, even if it's Khulekani next year, I wouldn't be able to enter because of my age. So I was like, what do I have to lose? And then I was like, oh snap, I still have work. So ngimisa kanjani emsebenzini because they expect me to be here every day. And now I want to do something engahlangene nje ngabona kancane. So this is me ngipusha iphupha lami and laba bantu are involved as well. But I was very transparent. So I auditioned, sent my auditioning clip, and then I got a feedback like, yeah, congrats, you made it to the next round, which is auditioning for the judges for the first time. And I literally just from the get-go, I'm like,
you were transparent.
Yeah, I was like, this is what is happening. And she was very supportive. She was like, go for it. Go for it. You love this, go for it. I was like, but then my job is like, no, we'll figure it out. Let's just take it one step at a time. So it was just a matter of letting them know, it's okay, fine, sengilana manje. So this is what you're going to have to expect from me now, moving forward with them and stuff like that. And they were really supportive, I'm not even going to lie. Really supportive. And I'm really proud of myself as well for actually ukuyibeka in such a huge platform. And angiyithathe kancane, like at all. Angiyithathe kancane because bangaka bafisa uku-encourage and how many abangenelayo competition and how many can say they've made it that far.
Yeah.
And it was my first time. And for umuntu who was not focusing on umculo, remember that because I've just been focusing
on work.
Yes. And for umuntu who hasn't been singing as frequent as she wishes, and to have made it that far, for me, I pat myself on the back and be like, congratulations, because we are competing with abantu who are gigging pretty much almost every single day. Abanye, like every weekend, they know go to they are singing, meaning they've been rehearsing.
So they've been working on their craft for a while.
Exactly. So for me, I'm just working, get as if, a bit, you know, trying to play catch up.
So look at the reserve tank taking you to top 8.
Now imagine if I was really, really
Jeez!
prepared. I'm just saying.
So now talking about the Idols competition now, you get to the voting stages. Tell me about that one. I know that you and another fellow, Gagasi, you were the only participants from KZN. And in that time, not every person from KZN can drive to Joburg every weekend. And I remember seeing a clip of you and saying, hey, sometimes
yes. Oh my God. I think for me, that was like one of the... I'm even getting emotional thinking about it, because it was really a tough... Like, being in a space like that, number one, you are putting yourself to be in a position to be judged by a lot of people. Never mind, I'm a judge. But also, at the same time, I'm a judge, you have the power to influence. Whatever the narrative is with you at that particular day, that's what everyone else is going to see. And they will choose to see just that.
Yeah.
And sometimes it can be a narrative that is not correct. And then, in that position, you are competing province, so it's not easy for someone.
You don't have the home ground advantage.
Exactly. Even with Ekaya, it's not easy for them to just drop everything and say, hey, we are coming this week. You know. So sometimes it's like, Maktawa, you have access to nibone abantu about data befike bezokubona rather the show. Just mhlambe kulo data only have 5. You know, sometimes it became really tough, because they already know that you're going through so much, because right? But sometimes it's just a matter of seeing a familiar face and be like, oh, you know what, everything's going to be fine. You know, and sometimes I didn't get that privilege. I remember with my fellow contestant, Sasenai, from here in Durban, kwakhona abantu ababefikile bezombuka that week, and I don't think I had anyone. Like, I didn't have anyone. And I got so emotional and I wanted to cry, and he was like, no man, let's go. And I was happy to see abanye abantu, because we're all in the music space. It was people that I kind of knew, you know, like I was familiar with, so we smiled. But also, I think deep down, I wish abantu that I know, like my people, my friends, my family, were here as well.
Did your dad ever come to see you perform?
The last one where I was eliminated, it was a surprise. I didn't know he was coming. I only got to know after the show. So he came with some of my siblings and some of the family relatives on his side. And yeah, that was really interesting. It was. I was happy, obviously, to see him. But yeah, he did come.
So what are your sentiments now, having... you are in the logistics industry, but you went out on a limb, on this dream, this vision and goal that you've always had. What is your, I think, sentiments and feeling around that? Was it worth it?
Definitely was. I feel like if I never took that leap of faith, it will always have been a thing of, I wonder what could have been, you know? And we can't live in Bilo Ganjalo. You know, at some points you're going to have to take risks. Just like how anyone, when they think of a business, they understand it's a risk. It's going to work out, it's not going to work out, but at the end of the day, you can't lose the hope and the faith. Your good season are going to get better at the end. So for me, now personally, I am very happy. Super, super happy. And I'm really, like how I said before, like I'm really proud of myself, because it's not an easy decision to take. Hence, for Umuntu, who's a little bit more reserved by nature, and then in a platform where we judging, and you know, so it was a bit difficult, but still, I still say I would have done it, like over
and over
again. Yeah, namanje siqala phansi siyayenza futhi, you're still going to be
top 2. So practice at least for the next couple of months.
So like I wouldn't change it for anything in this world. Like, it was one of the best experiences that I've had, and I can look back and be like, wow, so now you really did that, okay?
Are you going to pursue the side of yourself now, the music side?
Yes, I think I don't know, like, I don't know, so I write it all down, eh?
Yeah.
And I remember there was a year, I think 2 years back, I went to get myself like a little journal, and this one says a prayerful woman or something like that. And one of the goals that I had written there was to sing more. And I am singing more.
Yeah.
Like, I'm back in the scene, or I'm getting myself back in the scene of being a singer who is active, because that's what I love. And it's been a dream. Here and there, I'm just going to touch and go. I'm just going to keep doing this back and forth. But I know for a fact, I'm not putting music aside now. Like, I just have to see it through, like, fully invest in the music. So that's what I'm doing moving forward. So
all fully investing in the dream and the goal and the vision. That are words from Senamile Mkhwanazi, better known as Usena. No, Sena. So your dreams, your visions, and your goals, you do not have to push them to the back burner. You can go after them. You can chase after your dreams. There's something you feel it, you hear it, you sense it. You don't know what it is and you don't know how it's going to happen. But the reality is you don't need to know. You just need to take that simple step of faith, trust in God, trust in Him and say, I'm just working with your faith. I'm just working with you and your abilities. Whatever it is that you want me to do, I will definitely go out for it. She went out on a limb, ended up on the top 8 of the biggest musical extravaganza corner in the entire continent of Africa. Now, that should motivate you to go out for yourself. Go out and try whatever it is that you want to try, whether it be a business, anything else. Make sure that you elevate yourself and you do whatever it is that you want to do. Senamile, thank you so much for coming through. You're getting me to preach now.
Amen. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you so much. Where do we search, find, and follow you?
You can find me on Instagram as Sena_RSA. I'm still trying to get the hang of TikTok.
TikTok.
But everywhere, Facebook, I'm Sena Idols SA. That's my page. And on Instagram, Sena_RSA. And on TikTok as well, Sena_RSA.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.